With this robot baby, it comes with keys, and each key is a need.
We got burp, attention, diaper change, feed, panic. I guess you're panicking right now. All right, Bubby, let's see, is this...
Also, the baby can detect movement. Eat, food, food, food. And you have to also go through the physical motion. So if it's burping, not only do you insert the burping key, but, actually try to burp the baby.
How long did she cry?
Until we figure it out.
TLC called it "Good job, babe," but viewers watched Jay and Pamela survive one robot baby and somehow turn the comments into a full-blown trial over whether they should ever become parents. And honestly, the doll was not the only thing being tested here. The clip begins with what sounds like a simple assignment. Jay and Pamela must care for an interactive baby simulator. The baby cries, and they have to identify what it needs by using different keys for feeding, burping, attention, and diaper changes. Simple enough, right? Not even close. Almost immediately, the crying creates panic. Jay starts guessing what the baby wants, while Pamela tries to explain how the system works. The doll can detect movement, so pressing the correct key is only part of the solution. They still have to physically perform the task. That is where this cute little parenting exercise quietly becomes a relationship stress test. Pamela admits that she's getting worried because she cannot figure out what the baby needs. Jay suggests turning it off, which is probably what half the audience wanted to do by that point. But then his anxiety shifts into commentary. He questions how Pamela is holding the baby. He worries about the neck. He asks why she's moving its legs that way. He watches every action like a nervous supervisor reviewing an employee's first day on the job. Pamela doesn't exactly welcome the feedback. She reminds him that she grew up with two younger brothers and believes she has more experience with babies. When Jay keeps questioning her technique, she finally hits him with the relationship classic. If you think you know everything, then go ahead and do it yourself. And there it is. The real conflict is not about a diaper key. It's about what happens when one partner feels anxious and starts controlling every detail, while the other partner feels criticized and becomes defensive. Hold on to that thought, because it explains almost everything that happens next. During the diaper change, Jay asks why Pamela is folding the baby's legs like a tortilla. Pamela insists that this is how it's done because babies can kick their feet into the mess and create an even bigger disaster. Her message is basically, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Jay isn't convinced. In his confessional, he jokes that Pamela is flipping the doll around like pancakes and says that if it had been a real baby, it might have suffered several broken bones. That line was clearly exaggerated for comedy, but it also reveals how quickly Jay's concern turns into criticism. He's not merely offering help, he's narrating Pamela's mistakes while she's already under pressure. Pamela eventually finds the correct diaper change key, the crying stops, and Jay tells her, "Good job, babe." That should have been the sweet ending. Instead, Jay follows it with the exhausted realization that it's going to be a very long night. And TLC knew exactly what it was doing when it posted that moment with 3 red hearts. The caption presents adorable teamwork. The actual clip gives viewers stress, bickering, nervous jokes, and enough relationship tension to power an entire season. Even the promotional image captures that energy. Pamela looks relaxed and confident on the couch, while Jay is turned toward her with the kind of doubtful expression that says he has at least 3 follow-up questions. But the reaction online went far beyond debating who handled the doll correctly. Some viewers found the scene hilarious. They remembered caring for similar robot babies in school, losing the keys, sitting on them accidentally, or desperately trying to stop the crying. Several people praised Jay and Pamela for learning together and said the exercise was supposed to be difficult. Others were far less generous. Comments included phrases like "babies playing with babies." Some told them to get a cat instead. Others declared that they should not have children because they struggled with the simulator. And that's where the conversation became uncomfortable. There's a fair discussion to have about Jay and Pamela's communication. They clearly need a better strategy for handling pressure. Jay can't micromanage every movement and then expect Pamela to not become frustrated. Pamela cannot respond to every concern by shutting down the conversation and telling him to take over. A real baby won't stop crying while they decide who's right. But questioning their ability to become parents simply because they are disabled is something completely different. One commenter directly called out the ableism in the discussion, and that point should not be ignored. Physical disability does not automatically determine whether someone can be a loving, capable parent. Parenting can involve adaptive equipment, outside support, careful planning, and different ways of completing everyday tasks. The real question should be practical. Can they communicate without turning every stressful moment into a power struggle? Can they divide responsibilities clearly? Can they accept help when they need it? Can they prepare for emergencies and build a reliable support system? Those are legitimate questions for any couple considering parenthood. Their bodies should not be treated as automatic evidence against them. And here's the detail the harshest commenters seem to miss. The robot baby was designed to overwhelm them. It cries until they identify the correct need. It requires specific keys. It reacts to movement. The entire purpose is to create confusion and reveal how the couple behaves under stress. Struggling doesn't mean they failed. In fact, they eventually solved the problem. Pamela found the correct key, the crying stopped, and Jay told her, "Good job, babe." They stayed engaged instead of abandoning the exercise. That matters. The clip shows two people who have very different coping styles. Jay manages fear by focusing on every possible danger. Pamela manages fear by projecting confidence and trusting her past experience. Neither approach is automatically wrong, but together they create friction. Jay's concern can easily sound condescending. Pamela's confidence can easily sound dismissive. And when those two energies collide at 3 a.m. with an actual crying infant, "Good job, babe" may not be enough to restore the peace. Still, this is precisely why couples practice. It's better to discover the communication problem with a plastic simulator than during a real emergency. The lesson is not that Jay and Pamela are incapable. The lesson is that love alone will not organize the nighttime schedule, settle an argument, or make anxiety disappear. They need teamwork that doesn't feel like supervision. They need advice that doesn't sound like an attack. And they need confidence that leaves room for correction. So was this robot baby disaster a warning that Jay and Pamela are not ready for parenthood? Or was it simply an awkward first rehearsal that exposed exactly what they need to work on? And were the harshest viewers expressing genuine concern or hiding ableist assumptions behind the language of safety? Tell me which side you're on. Like the video, subscribe to Truth Talk Tribe, and drop your honest take in the comments.